Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about emotions. Thursday I had a pretty rough day at work. As many of you know, I work at a DAP school, and that's for students that have behavioral or drug issues, and they just get in trouble at school. They're home campus all the time. Um, I had one student that just said some pretty hateful things, and it's something that it gets to me to the core just because it's my one self-conscious things. Other than that, I'm pretty good with whatever people call me. But he was talking about my teeth, and it's something that I can't fix right now due to money and just dentist costing so much and things like that. Um, but a little story about my teeth. When I was 16, I went to an orthodontist and he put braces on. Well, before then I had white teeth. They weren't straight, but they were white. After having the braces and he was taking them off and he grounded down most of my enamel on my teeth just to get the cement off. Well, then after several miscarriages and pregnancies and things like that, that takes away your enamel, my teeth, and then I have horrible genetics when it comes to uh, gum disease and things like that. My teeth slowly started falling out. Again, this is the only thing that I'm really self-conscious about. Other than that, I'm pretty good. You can call me fat, ugly, and it just rolls off me. But you mentioned my teeth, and then I get really self-conscious. I did do an amazing job, and I did not show him any emotion because the kids I work with, you can't really show weakness. If you do, then that's what they're going to go after until they get to you. Now, all the teachers stood behind me, my principals stood behind me, and they got on to the student and, made it as right as possible. Um, but that brought up a lot of emotions. I was angry. I'm from the hood. I'm originally from the hood. I say I'm half holy and half hood. Um, and it's just a joke. But my old person would have just laid him out and done some, hurtful things back. But now that I am living life through Christ, I just sat there and let him do whatever he wanted to do. And then I emailed my principals and informed them and just let it go from there. Now, my principal did call me into the office to make sure I was okay and actually exactly what happened and how did it go and stuff like that, just because he needed it for reports. And I broke down in my principal's office, which made me mad because I'm not a crier. I only cry when I'm upset. Um, he said, it's okay to cry. You just don't do it in front of the students. And I was like, I'm good, And then I went to lunch and I was telling the other teachers thank you and just for having my back and stuff. And then I started crying again. So we all have emotions. And when you have mental health issues, sometimes they're you're overly emotional and you can't control your emotions at all. And then sometimes you're almost emotionless. You don't feel like you can share anything. And there is an even balance. You can have emotions and deal with them in a healthy way, but ignoring your emotions is not going to get you anywhere. They'll just build up inside you and then they'll eat you like a cancer. So you have to learn how to deal with them and let them out in healthy ways. And one way that has helped me learn how to deal with my emotions is I attend a 12-step program that's called Regeneration, and it's through my church. I was part of the pilot group, and it's a Christian-based, godly-based 12-step program, which is how they originally started until the world started taking over them and making it for anything and everything and leaving God out of it. And that's the key part of it. You have to keep God in the center of your life, or you're just going to be a total wreck. I know sometimes it looks like people who does not have Christ in front of them or in front of their lives, center of their lives, that they have their stuff all together and nothing's happening to them and, all these other things. But trust me, they go through their trials and tribulations as well. And So I went through that. I got rid of a lot of past hurts and trauma that I've been through. As y'all know, I've been through some past trauma. And I didn't even really go into detail on how much trauma I went through. Maybe one day I will. Right now, I don't feel led to go into detail because it's pretty dark and I don't want to set anybody off and cause them to have flashbacks or trauma or anything from that. Yeah, so going through the 12-step program, it made me realize what my past hurts and trauma, what I was still holding on to, the guilt and shame that I was holding on to. And once I learned how to deal with the past trauma and forgive like Jesus wants us to, I really was able to control my emotions a whole lot better. I'm not saying that it's good, it was easy because it wasn't. I had trouble with my anger, a lot of trouble with my anger. And I never really knew how angry I was until I wasn't angry no more. And that just wears on you. But so back to Thursday. So it was a really emotional day. I came home and told my husband about it and just cried in his arms. And he held me and, apologized and just tried to help me as much as possible. I ended up going to bed with a massive headache just from crying so much. And my kids seen that I was upset. And I firmly believe that your kids have to see you upset and see you how you deal with emotions because they learn from you. If you don't show them how to deal with emotions, then they grow up not knowing how to deal with them. And once they get all these big grown up emotions, they're clueless on what to do with them. So, I don't try to hide too much from my kids because we're their teachers. Anyways, so I went to bed really heartbroken and I prayed. And then I got up Friday morning and I was like, okay, I got to go back and I can do this. I know that kids are going to do what kids do just to hurt because they're hurting. When people hurt other people, it's generally because they're hurting. And the kids that I work with don't always have the best of the best background. And so that's why one reason why my principal really felt that I would make a difference in this school is because I truly get it. I grew up in the hood. I grew up homeless most of the time, no water, electricity, hardly ever food, just things like that. So I get some of the things that these kids go through. And I know that I can make a difference in these kids' life. It's just going to take a while for them to trust me. It took a while for me to trust people because when you're hurt so many times by the people that you love, it causes you to build up this wall. And this wall will get higher and higher until somebody's willing enough to stand there and chisel it down brick by brick. So on Saturday, I went and had coffee with one of my girlfriends. And we always talk back and forth about how we're going, how we're doing, how life is, our kids, just stuff like that. So it's important that you have people in your background that help you and that encourage you and that support you. My friends know my insecurity and they always tell me I'm just fine, that it's no big deal, you don't notice it, all these things to help me be more secure in myself. And, it's not the easiest thing. So it's normal. We all have our own insecurities. But what you need as a backup is having people that tell you it's okay and they get it, even if they don't have the same insecurity. But having that support is very important. Just having a few friends that you can go to no matter what, and you know that they're going to encourage you and lift you up in prayer and just stand beside you when you're hurting. That's most important. It's not always comfortable to stand by somebody that's hurting because you may not know what to say, but just standing there and being with them and through the pain is what's important. God will give you the words when it's right and when you need to speak. You may have not gone through the same thing that they went through or that they're going through, but you may have went through something similar. So you can just impose your truths and what you learned through your struggle and how you dealt with your emotions. And, you go from there. Um, Sorry, I've been really late on posting videos. I'm still trying to get a schedule started. But, you know, work, kids, supper, baths, all the things, I seem to run out of time. But I am going to start getting on a schedule. And if you like this content, just let me know. You can also ask questions, and I don't mind answering. If you want a certain type of video, just let me know, and I will always take suggestions. But thank you for watching. If you want to, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.